What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out. My name is EMT, Eddie Melendez, EMT. This is actually a live stream that we're going to be covering for a little bit over, I would say probably about an hour, more or less. And I just wanted to take the opportunity, of course, we're going to talk a little bit about gimbal stabilization and balance. We're going to focus on making sure that the phones and the gimbals that you're using are properly balanced. And we're also going to talk a little bit about some of the lenses and counterweights and things like that. We're gonna have a conversation. So yeah, buckle up. It's gonna be a little while. So if you're listening to this after the fact, because this will become a podcast, if you didn't know, I have a podcast. It's called Crop Factor by EMT Films. It's available pretty much on every single platform right now. But before we dive in, I just want to make sure I see some people joining in the stream. I'm pretty much getting everything up and running too on my end over here, so bear with me. Let me know with a thumbs up if you can hear me properly, because I'm using a different microphone setup right now. So just make sure that if that works out, I want to make sure that you can hear me and everything is working fine and all that good stuff. So perfect. Got Dario Escobar, Colombia, saludos. Welcome to the stream, welcome to the stream. I also have Wesso. I'm the only one who asked for the calibration yesterday. Oh, there we go. Wesso, welcome back, welcome back. Aaron J, thank you for coming to the stream. What's going on? What's going on? Ibrar Mughal, I hope I'm saying that right. Welcome to the stream. Bianca Santos, welcome to the stream as well. We're gonna be hanging out for a little while, chatting. And before we dive into the content, I have the DJI Osmo Mobile 2 with a Pixel 3 XL. I also have a Samsung Galaxy S10 over here for testing purposes as well. And I also have a Pixel 3a as well. So we're going to be playing a little bit about it. So, ooh, Ibrahim Mughal, you crossed 50K. Congratulations. That's awesome. Rich Orlando, my man, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Excellent to tech. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Guys, I just want to give you a heads up. I enabled memberships on my channel. I don't know if you guys have seen the community posts that I've been posting on the past couple days, yesterday. I flipped the switch today. What does this mean? We're going to have actual memberships on the channel. So I don't know if you noticed, but I don't know if this works on smartphones. As a matter of fact, it's just brand new, so I have absolutely no idea. Bianca, I think you're saying that I'm lindo. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I know Spanish, so I know that Portuguese and Spanish are very, very similar, so I appreciate that. Oh yes, it actually shows up on mobile now. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but whenever you go to like my YouTube channel, whether you're using mobile or the web, you're gonna see a little button that says join at the bottom. And what does that mean? That means that for those of you who enjoy the content that I've been posting for the past year plus, for those of you who have seen an improvement in your filmmaking because of the channel, you have the opportunity, of course, to support my ventures on the YouTube cyberspace. And honestly, everything is going to continue to be free on my YouTube channel. I do not believe in hiding things behind a paywall. Having said that, this is my aspiration. I want to make sure that I run my own business and I have my own company in the future. And so far, I've been able to, invest in the channel, invest in new monitors, new gear, new computer, and things like that. Because of a result of monetization. Having said that, that cannot be my full-time job, of course, because just on monetization alone and running ads in the background, that's just simply not going to work out. So for those of you who enjoy the content and you feel like supporting the channel with a channel membership, that is available in live starting right now. So what that gives you is an exclusive badge for you to kind of like flash around in the live streams. We're going to be doing live streams way more often right now because I want to answer your questions. I want to do community Q&As and see what's going on with you guys and stuff like that. That also gives you access to community only posts, and there will be more tiers. Start with a simple standard subscription And that will also get you a badge as you subscribe. You'll notice that you'll have a little identifier badge next to your name, which is really cool. I made them all myself. They will get better with time. But I just wanted to get, things started, and of course, give you a little bit more value for those of you who decide to support me in this new venture. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, any thoughts, any concerns regarding that, once again, the content on my YouTube channel is going to continue to be free. I do not want to put things behind a paywall. I just want to insert more value. Having said that, getting all that out of the way, I want to highlight that I'm actually streaming on my iPhone XS Max using the front-facing camera. So if the quality is acceptable to you, give me a thumbs up, but it's crazy that we're able to do this on a smartphone. Also, I have a Y lightning splitter attached at the bottom of my iPhone, one connected to a power bank. That way I have power for as much as I need to. And then the other end, I'm using a brand new lavalier microphone. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm using the Deity V.Lav microphone. And I actually used that microphone before when I went to CES, if I'm not mistaken, CES or NAB, I'm sorry, NAB. And there's actually a video about it, but I haven't used it since then because I was using my my K670. Such good quality from a front-facing stream, Aaron. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I was looking, I have my screen over here with the stream running just so I can monitor and see how everything looks like. And I was like, oh my God, this is like the front-facing camera. Crazy. Anyhow, I'm using that lavalier microphone with that Y splitter. If you think the quality sounds acceptable or good, or you prefer the previous microphone that I had, the K670, let me know so we can continue to improve and connect. So, having said that, today on this live stream, I want to make sure that I answer as many questions as possible, and I also want to make sure I share with you a little bit about how to balance your gimbal. As you can see, it kind of like went crazy because I'm currently using a Pixel 3 XL with my DJI Osmo Mobile, and I'm also using a Moment case. So that's gonna be very, very heavy. So it's gonna kind of like tilt. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about some quick tips and tricks that you can enable to balance your gimbal whenever you're using heavy phones or heavy cases and things like that, and how you can incorporate also the counterweights, the Moment counterweights. All right, let's see. Before we dive in, I have Eduardo. Hey, still having problem doing Inception with my FreeVision Vilta M. Good luck. What type of problem are you having? Because I have it right here. We can debunk that in a moment. Just remind me to revisit that once we cover the balancing situation, the balancing act. I'm gonna switch over to the FreeVision to make sure I answer your question. That way you can see how we can do some Inception situation. All right, so we got Overlord. Overlord, welcome to the stream, welcome to the stream. Fernando says, I have an Osmo for Christmas and you are being really helpful. Thank you so much, Fernando, I appreciate that. That's the whole point, man. If you ever come out with some content, with some videos, and you post them on YouTube or Instagram or anywhere else, feel free to link me, send me a DM on Instagram, or leave a comment and let me know. I'll definitely want to check out your work if you ever post it. That would be awesome. DAT is going to release a new mobile gimbal or a new version, as they said, right? So here's a couple things that are happening in the industry. There's a lot of chatter about new gimbals by DJI. There's a new chatter about Zhiyun coming out with a new gimbal as well. I think they're announcing something tomorrow, so I might actually stream after the fact. So keep your eyes open, and if you want to make sure you capture this live, hit that little bell so you get notified. But beautiful. I'm going to tilt my Smove Flex tripod a little bit, that way you can see a little bit more of what's happening here with my gimbal. Perfect. All right, so I have right now the DJI Osmo Mobile, and we're going to be balancing this situation up real quick. Let me tilt it down even further so you can see everything that's going on here. And by the way, small plug, I'm still loving my Techni sport chair. It's awesome. Best thing I've done, because the other thing that I had was a IKEA chair, and it was like, it hurts full. But anyhow, all right, guys, so things first. Before we dive into anything related, filmmaking with gimbals and stuff like that, balance is literally the key for you to be able to get the most buttery, smooth, crispy B-roll you can achieve. So first things first, you definitely want to make sure this little screw over here is open. That way you can balance out your gimbal and stretch out the arm. So we're going to push that out as far as possible and lock it in. So we got that going. Perfect. Now, I don't know if you notice on the Pixel, look at that. If you're using a Pixel 3 XL, or you're using, let's say, an iPhone XR or an iPhone XR, this is what you want. This is what you want to be able to achieve. You want your smartphone to not tilt left or right. Once you get this going like this, you're gonna have a way better time getting your crispy shots. It is okay if you're swaying a little bit further or back. You do have the option to move the clamp either up or down in order to achieve a little bit better balance. But I'm gonna be honest with you, don't worry too much about that as long as you're retaining, balance in terms of like that neighborhood. You're gonna be fine. If you do want to go an extra mile,
results from the web.
Look at that. This is live, by the way, so my phone's gonna get triggered pretty much all the time because we're pressing the buttons. But anyhow, you also want to make sure. I don't know if you can see this right here, but if you try to balance it as much as possible, you'll notice that this is going to hit, and you're going to have a little bit of friction. So preemptively, when you're out and about filming, make sure that you understand the type of shots that you're going to require. Hey, I'm going to do some jib shots. I'm going to go from the very bottom, from the ground, all the way up. If that's the case, you want to make sure that you're not setting yourself up for any clashes down here. Because when you're filming, sometimes you're going to have that one situation where it's just one take. Let's say there's something happening and you can only capture it once. If you hit and you screw up that shot with a bump, you might not have a good time, and that's not the case. So make sure you're setting yourself up. If you feel that you're going to be craning and you're going to be doing a lot of jib shots, running footsteps or things like that, you want to avoid balancing it all the way down because you're gonna have a clash here. So that's why I typically, even if it sways a little bit, see it's not quite fully balanced, it's tipping a little bit forward, I still give myself a little bit of room just in case I go deeper. That way we can keep that motion going. So that's gonna be tip number one. You wanna make sure that at least your horizontal balance on your DJI or pretty much any gimbal in general is fully leveled. Sounds good? Give me a thumbs up if you got that right, or if you have any questions about that initial step in terms of balancing your gimbal. This is huge. Now, if you're using multiple phones, for example, when I'm using right now the Google Pixel 3a, if I were to switch over to my Samsung and I swap that in, you'll notice that this one fits way more comfortably on the cradle. And I honestly love to use the smartphones and the smartphone gimbals without any cases, unless I'm using any lenses like the Moment lens or the Sandmarc lens, which, by the way, I've been blown away by recent Sandmarc lenses and stuff like that. But keep in mind that if you're using different cases or different smartphones, you'll see how we lost balance a little bit again. So now for this type of phone, Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, we're gonna also try to balance, and as you can see, there we go. We got some pretty good vertical, horizontal balance. We're gonna lock it in right here. And then I'm gonna flip it forward. Now here, since the phone's not too thick because of the case, I'm gonna go ahead and sway it a little bit further up. That way we get the phone to fully remain flat. And too much, maybe just a little bit forward. There we go, guys. This is what we're trying to achieve 100% of the times. If you are filming with nothing but your phone and the DJI Osmo, I'm gonna give it a little bit more just to get a little bit more. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at that. The whole idea is for you to be able to stabilize your shot. And if I rotate my gimbal your way, take a look at this. This is what we're trying to achieve all the time, 100%. Every single time you're going, you want to make sure that you achieve a really good, next to perfect balance, both when it's laid flat or when it's laid forward. Look at that. That's awesome. So that way the phone, that way the gimbal is not trying to overcompensate, because if you're swaying to the right or to the left, the motors inside your gimbal are gonna try to overcompensate. Your battery's gonna run out, your shots might start shaking. So set yourself up for success before. The cool thing about this is that once you do it, if you're going out and about, you don't have to worry too much about it. Just set it and forget it type of situation. Even if you need to go out, take the phone, pick up a phone call or something like that, your balance is gonna be there. So that's why very important, tighten your screws, lock it up, and the full test is if your gimbal stays vertical and horizontal like this. Look at that. It's like beautiful. Buttery smooth. There we go, guys. So this is honestly the biggest challenge that I've seen in a lot of smartphone filmmakers. If you're starting like I was a couple years ago, I was like, no, it's the gimbal's job to stabilize. Yeah, but absolutely, you know, it's the gimbal's job. But you got to make sure that everything is as easy as possible for the gimbal to do its job. If not, your shots are gonna be sideways and things like that. You don't want to deal with that. Anyhow, before we proceed to tip number 2 with balancing your gimbal, I'm gonna take a look at the comments here and see what we got. Got you on the case tip. There we go, Albert. That was tip number 1. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So tip number 1, if you're using a case, give yourself a little bit of room in the lip over here, even if it's not fully flat. That way you can go up and down. If you're not using a case, you definitely want to make sure you're fully flat like that. Ooh, this is a really good shot. It's like some neon lights and stuff like that. I don't know, guys. And then of course, you also want to make sure that things are fully balanced. Oh, this is great. This would be a really cool GIF. If anybody does a screen record and captures this and sends it to me, that'll be awesome. If not, I'll do it after the fact, but it'll be like some neon song music in the background. Anyhow, Overlord Ryden says, tech guy, EM tech guy. Hey man, we got to do it. So satisfying, says Aaron J. Miss Pokey, my wife, is here. Hello. Everybody say hello to Laura. She's right there. She's the reason my videos pop and my thumbnails are popping, is because she shows up in them. Thank you so much. Raphael says, hey, which gimbal would you recommend for a beginner? This is a really good starting point. The DJI Osmo Mobile 2. I would say kind of keep your eyes open for tomorrow and the remaining of the week, because there's a lot of new things that apparently are going to be announced or showcased soon. So DJI Osmo Mobile 2, really, really useful. But then also the Moza Mini-S is a fantastic option. It's very, very affordable. I think it's right now running for $79. And the Smove Mobile is really good. It's $149, I believe, $149, $159. But honestly, you can find DJI Osmo mobiles in retail stores pretty much everywhere. So I would definitely recommend either that, depending on your budget, and also depending on your smartphone. FreeVision is, in my opinion, the best smartphone gimbal for Android, hands down. So if you're on the Android side, you might want to consider FreeVision Vilta M or Vilta SE, and of course DJI Osmo. So hopefully that answered your question, Raphael. If you have any more, drop them down there. Fernando says, do you use apps or edit them on your PC? If so, what editing software do you use? So every single footage that I've been capturing for the past year on my smartphone gimbals, I've been editing with Final Cut Pro on my MacBook Pro. Having said that, I've been tinkering this past weekend with KineMaster, and for the past couple months with LumaFusion. LumaFusion is the reason why I'm considering getting an iPad, guys, because I want to make sure, I want to be able to get that fully mobile workflow. So that's probably going to happen very, very soon. I know if my wife is still watching, she's going to be like, you're going to buy an iPad. But I am, okay? Yes, it's my birthday. Not yet, but soon. Next year. But yeah, Fernando, I've been using Final Cut Pro on my Mac. And then on mobile, I've been tinkering with LumaFusion, which is fantastic. It's crazy good. It's like Premiere. It's like Final Cut. And then KineMaster is actually a really good option if you're starting right now. And then Luan Fraga says, Luan, I think you're asking which one you should buy. I'm not 100% sure because my Portuguese is very, very bad. But depending on your needs, if you're doing basic filming, you can't go wrong with the DJI Osmo Mobile 2 or the Fifine V.Lav if you're doing Android. Snopa Atom is really good. I actually have it right here. The challenge that I personally have with Snopa Atom is that the mechanism is to the right. So you don't actually do this with the gimbal. You do this to go up and down. And I've messed up so many shots. So it's more of a me problem, but this gimbal is feature packed. If you haven't seen the 5 reasons why I like this gimbal after the live stream, go check it out. I actually have a playlist that says 5 reasons why I like this. So absolutely recommend this. And Snopa Atom supports 300 grams of payload. So it's really, really good option as well. Do you get a chance to try the Fifine V.Lav Pro, Fatty? No, I have not. I spoke to some of their team over there, and they told me they were going to send me one, so I'm kind of like waiting on that. Opulent Sneakers. I just got the Fifine V.Lav, and I'm starting up, and I love the feeling of controls. I use ONE+ 60. Awesome. And honestly, the Fifine V.Lav and the V.Lav SE are fantastic. I love the build quality of the M though. It feels like you're holding something like sturdy. Overlord, getting close to 30K subs. You'll be 50K before you know it. Thank you, Overlord. You've been here since the very beginning, man. So I appreciate that. We're about to hit 30K soon. No rush. My main goal is to be able to provide as much value as I can to you because I really enjoy doing this. It's this and gaming. I love video games. I'm guilty as charged. I'm starting a gaming channel soon. Not right now. This is going to be my main focus, of course, but soon. And it's going to be just pretty much hangouts and Let's Plays. But anyhow, Fernando says, I have an outdated Galaxy S8 Plus. Hopefully to get a Pixel soon. Man. Pixel 3a and Pixel 3 XL, Jesus Christ, these guys, photo-wise, are fantastic. The video quality, though, it's not bad, but with Filmic Pro, you can get some really crispy B-roll with it. Really good stuff. So definitely one of my favorite Android phones. Luan Fraga says, well, thanks. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I'm sorry about the Portuguese, but I'm trying to brush up on it. Opulent Sneaker says, I bought the Fifine V.Lav because of you. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. Thank you so much. Bro, I was at E3 for media. Should have looked for you. Albert, I was there pretty much every single day. I was filming B-roll and capturing stuff. We were also at the Bandai Namco booth. We got there some VIP access. We got to play Kakarot. We got to play Man of Medan. It was amazing. And I was actually at the Microsoft press conference and at the Bethesda press conference. It was a hell of a time. And I was able to capture everything with the Smove Mobile, actually. By the way, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I do have a deal with Smove Mobile. That's why you haven't seen me post a ton on my channel with the Smove Mobile, but I have been posting a vlog on their channel using their gimbal. They are sponsoring the channel with me doing some work on their YouTube channel to promote their products. So I really enjoy it. I have Smove Mobile, I have Smove Pro, and Smove Pro Mobile. Really good gimbals, really good options as well. But just to give you the heads up that I do have sponsorship with them, and I also have a sponsorship occasionally with Moza. They hired me for NAB and CES to speak at their booth and showcase their products. And also they sponsored some, not all of them, but some of the videos that I post on my channel. So for the ones that are, I'll let you know. But everything that I'm showing you, regardless of the gimbal, regarding balance, should be top. That's why I'm using the the DJI that way. Oh, he's sponsored by this company. But we're doing the Osmo right now, and we might switch back and forth if you guys request it. D-Don3 says, what do you think about the new Vlog Pocket? I saw it at, I want to say NAB, and it was really cool. I want to get my hands on it because it's really, really small. And I'm all about that. Whenever I'm vlogging or doing small stuff and I don't want to carry extra things, I use the Pocket, the DJI Osmo Pocket. But if they're giving me a really good vlogging solution for my smartphone, very, very small and portable, That's awesome. Dude, what games do you play? What system 2 or PC? Fernando, I'm playing on PS4, Xbox One, and I'm building a PC this holiday season for Cyberpunk 2077. I'm gonna get ready, and if my wife's still watching this, she's gonna be like, oh, you're buying a PC now, you're bringing this big thing into our living space. And I'm like, yes, I am, because of Cyberpunk. That's gonna be awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna be building a PC soon. Even though I'm primarily a console gamer, I want to slowly get there. Raphael says, thanks for the answer. I'm really into Moza Mini-S. It's a fantastic gimbal and it's a really good price. Miss Pokey says, but no matter the sponsorship, your opinions, reviews are always 100% honest. That's my wife, and she said it. It's 100% true because she don't lie, and she's awesome. So yeah, guys, just to reiterate again, I enabled memberships on my YouTube channel. So if you feel like supporting all the tips and tricks, tutorials, you're more than welcome to join. Regardless of you joining the membership, which by the way, it's pretty solid. I'm actually naming it the Ninja Walkers Club. So if you become a part of the Ninja Walkers Club, you're gonna have your exclusive badges and exclusive emojis and also exclusive member behind the scene posts on the community tab. Having said that, just because you're here, I'm happy. That's my goal. You don't necessarily have to join. The content of the channel, my opinions are gonna be 100% free. All the videos, all the tips and everything's gonna be free. It's just an additional lever for you to support me if you feel like doing so. Hashtag Ninja Walkers Club by Miss Pokey, the commissioner of the Ninja Walkers Club right there, Miss Pokey. Opulent Sneaker says, so an iPad and PC, hashtag goals. Absolutely. My goal will be to have a PC for home and edit on my iPad 100%. I'm currently docking my MacBook Pro, not complaining at all, but for gaming and stuff like that, definitely building my PC soon. Cyberpunk's gonna be straight fire, absolutely. I got a beginner PC, but no graphics card, says Overlord. Ooh, Black Friday. Black Friday's gonna be the best time to upgrade. You're gonna get some really good deals. Brian from Florida says, got my Smove mobile after watching you and I love it. Glad you do, Brian. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate your time and I appreciate everybody's time on the stream. Now, having said that, guys, we went ahead and started the whole video, the whole live stream today. We've been streaming for about 27 minutes. And just to recap for anybody that just joined, we were talking about balancing your smartphone gimbal with the DJI Osmo Mobile. So for example, tip number 1 was to make sure that if you are using cases, for example, a Moment case for your Pixel 3, for your iPhone, or Sandmarc, by the way, which is amazing, and you drop that into your gimbal, tip number 1 was to make sure, of course, that you're giving yourself a little bit of leeway here so you can fully expand your gimbal all the way to the end, right here. But then, of course, give yourself a little bit of room because you're gonna clash in the back. So even though you're not getting like the full flat situation, you wanna make sure that you're setting yourself up for success for any shots when you're running and gunning. So that was with a case. Without a case, as much as possible, we're using the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. You wanna make sure that you are appropriately balanced. You see I'm adjusting the back arm a little bit further. There we go, look at that. Lock it up. And then you also wanna make sure that this balancing situation is proper here. Jeez, one take. What do you guys think? I love this. I love this. Anyhow, so we got over here, should I trade in my GoPro Hero 5 Black for a Hero 7 Black? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If you're shooting 1080p, keep the Hero 5 Black. If you're thinking of doing a little bit more with that hyper stabilization, yeah, I guess so. But I jumped from a Hero 3 Plus all the way up to the Osmo Action, which I have it right there. I'm gonna give you a little bonus at the end of the session, so anyhow. Wesso says, Weso or Wesso? What do you think is the best smartphone gimbal? That is an impossible question, never-ending quest. I am currently cycling between 3 different gimbals. Smove Mobile for that extension capability. I really, really love the crane shots and all the things that I can achieve with it. DJI Osmo Mobile because the app is just butter. It's just flat out butter. They did amazing things with it. And then honestly, Moza Mini-MI, I want to say it's swapping places with the Free Visions because the Moza Mini-MI has wireless charging and I love that feature. And also the fact that it does full 360, it's just fantastic. So those are going to be kind of like my different, rotation. It all comes down to what we're doing. So do you prefer drone shots? Do you do drone shots too? If so, do you recommend drone? Honestly, the drone situation right now, I got a little out of control for me because of all the different regulations in SoCal. So I would have to go to the mountain to do that, and that's cool. And even if you're like at tree height, you should be fine, but that'll be it. And then I see Wissa over here telling Miss Pokey, because of her suggestion, top 5 gimbals, video coming soon. She is the commissioner of the Ninja Walkers Club and the manager of EMT Films. So per her saying and decree, we're going to have to make that. So yeah, Miss Pokey calling the shots over here in the stream. So, so yeah, that should be a really good video. Saeed says, greetings. Have you used a gimbal in portrait orientation for your video log, like Facebook or Instagram? And the answer is yes. I have actually used the Smove Mobile in portrait during E3. I actually filmed an entire vlog in portrait, and it's really cool. Also, another cool thing why I like the Moza Mini-S is because their handle, it's pretty much not restrained by a screw. You can just simply rotate and do portrait on the fly, and the motors do a really good job with it. So here's an example. I'm going to use the Pixel 3a for this specific test, and we're going to go ahead and try to balance this one too. That way you get that extra information on the Moza Mini-S. So Moza Mini-S is a little peculiar because it doesn't have an adjustable arm. The motors inside use algorithms to figure out which one to power more than the other. So it's really cool for a $79 smartphone. But another thing that I really enjoy is the fact that the port is not obstructed, right? Like the DJI Osmo, when you plug in your phone and you bring in that phone situation in, you can't really use the USB-C port too much on this one because everything is locked. The only thing that you have access to is the headphone jack down here, but the USB-C port's fully locked. So the Moza Mini-S gives you that opening over there. So if you're using any lavs like I am right now or anything at all, that's gonna give you a really good opportunity to expand your live streams and things like that. But I don't know if you notice over here, it's kind of like leaning to the side. So the whole idea with this is that in this specific type of gimbal, all you really have to do is just simply sway the phone left and right. So I'm going to sway it a little bit towards the left, just a hair. And look at that. Look at that. It's right down the middle. Hey, look at that. It's not kind of like tilting back and forth. So that's what you're aspiring. And by achieving that type of balance, whenever you flip that in portrait for portrait orientation, you're going to have relatively good balance. It's swaying a little bit to the left, to the right, but you can actually use little brackets in the back to balance that equation a little bit. That way you're removing that stress from the gimbal, right? And this is what we're trying to look for when you're doing portrait. For it to, yeah, it's going to sway back and forth because, there's more phone to the top than at the bottom. But as long as it's not going sideways, your phone's going to do a really good job. And if I turn this guy on right now, we should get some magical balance. Look at that. So this is how to balance your gimbal with the Moza Mini-S. We covered the Osmo Mobile 2. And once again, the cool thing about this specific gimbal is that it's not restricted. And if you need to switch on the fly from portrait to landscape, oh, I just did an Instagram live, now I'm going to do a YouTube live like this, I can just flip it around and it automatically does a really good job in keeping everything in balance. So, and you can sway it up and down if you want a little bit more height, a little bit better balance, and here we go. Moza Mini-S. All right. So before we continue, just to recap at the beginning, we pretty much subscribe. Yo, look at Miss Spokey. We got our first Ninja Walkers Club member. Miss Spokey joined the club. Look at that. She just joined the club. I mean, it's kind of not fair because she's my wife, but in order to be the best Ninja Walker you could be, you have to join the club. So look at her. Pam, pam, pam. So if you feel like joining the club, go ahead and give it a shot. Miss Pokey, member 001 of the Ninja Walkers Club. If she knew, look at that. Look at that. She even brought in, she's got the badge with the new member, green cadet gimbal, and she has the emoji. You can actually see the emoji of me jumping and the emoji of my hair and my face. Guys, I made those myself last night. How cool is that? This is so satisfying. I love you, babe. Thank you so much for, the sub. Thank you so much for becoming a Ninja Walker. I appreciate it. Now we gotta get you a gimbal. And by the way, if you become a member and you have any suggestions regarding a emoji or a badge, feel free to let me know. We can make those real quick, real fast for you, but I'm really, really digging. The emojis look pretty cool. Look at that. That's my glasses. That's my face down there. That's super cool. And me jumping. I made that from a photo last night. I'm pretty hyped about it. Thank you so much, Miss Pokey, for joining the Ninja Walkers Club. More to come on that subject. You're going to be able to get some behind the scenes content when you're there with me. Of course, because you're going to be there with me. But anyhow, at the beginning of the stream, Overlord says, no, she's a ninja. She can sneak past the stream without anyone noticing. Yeah, and she's soon going to walk through that door and just, I don't know, be in the stream, hopefully. But thank you so much for supporting me, babe. I appreciate it. Just to recap, guys, we talked a little bit about how to balance your gimbal using the DJI Osmo Mobile and how to get your phone to be fully balanced and crispity smooth. We talked about how to balance your Moza Mini-S, right? This one is very interesting because this one doesn't have an arm that you can sway it out. You literally move your phone left and right. That's how you achieve that balance. You can see right now it's kind of like a little bit tilting to the left, so I'm going to give it a little bump to the right, just a minimal. Ooh, look at that, without even turning it on. Oh, a little too much. I went a little too overboard. It's just the power. Went to the gym, had some protein. We just got too much power. There we go. Now we're talking. And when we turn it on, bam, perfect balance. And then if we sway to portrait, we can stream, we can do YouTube, Instagram, Facebook Lives, anything like that. So we talked about, once again, DJI. We talked about Moza Mini-S. Now I want to sway things a little bit for the Moza Mini-MI. And the Moza Mini-MI, just to be fully transparent with you guys, Moza Mini-MI is my go-to gimbal for lenses and extra accessories because this thing has 300 grams of payload capacity. Having said that, sometimes we will exceed the 300 grams of payload capacity, but I love this gimbal because whenever I'm using any lens like Moment lenses or Sandmarc lenses, I'm able to do the same thing as the DJI Osmo Mobile. So I'm going to go ahead and tilt this down for you so you have a little bit better visual of what we're doing here. And by the way, wireless charging in the base and a USB port to charge non-wireless charging phones. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and do the same balancing technique as I did on the DJI Osmo Mobile. So you want to make sure you unscrew the back and pull it all the way out, lock it up. There we go. And you notice that right now it's swaying a little bit towards the right. That's strange. Oh my God, we have a case. It should be the other way around. The beautiful thing about this is that whenever you're involving any lenses, like for example, the Sandmarc, or in this case, the Moment Anamorphic lens, which is a really cool lens. If you haven't seen my Moment lens anamorphic videos, go ahead and check them out after the stream. That way, if you have any questions, suggestions, hopefully that video helps. But if, for example, I were to include that lens over here, you'll notice how things are swaying now to the other direction, right? So in this case, because the Moza Mini-MI has 300 grams of payload support, this is actually the max that we can do organically. This is the most balance that we can achieve organically. And if we turn on the Moza Mini-S, of course, we want to make sure we sway the gimbal a little bit. That way we can achieve that horizontal balance, but not too much so we don't, hit the bottom motor here. This is going to be ideal. This is going to be the most balance that you will achieve, for example, with the Pixel 3a and the Anamorphic and a Moment case. If I were to turn this thing on, you'll notice, zoop, that it's doing a really good job by itself, right? Whether I'm panning left, panning right, we're able to get some really good stabilization with this. And yeah, my lens is not fully aligned right now because the case for the Pixel is kind of like different. So I would have to unscrew and realign, but just for demo purposes, I just wanted to illustrate this. Now, there's gonna be times where you're gonna be using other lenses that are gonna be even heavier, especially on DJI Osmo Mobile, especially on free vision gimbals and things like that. So if you don't have a Moza Mini-MI that can support 300 grams of payload capacity, or let's say you're using an iPhone XS Max with a Moment case that organically is going to be heavier than this, my next recommendation is going to be, I'm going to turn it off real quick, is to leverage the Moment lens counterweight. Whether you're using Moment lenses or not, this little counterweight is going to be king for you to be able to get that really good balance at pretty much in any type of situation with any gimbal that you're using. So we're gonna go ahead and try this out with the Moza Mini-S or the Moza Mini-MI in this case. Right now I turned it all off and you can see that it's swaying a little bit towards the left. And this is gonna be a 60-gram counterweight. You're gonna have 30 and 30 on each side. And in this case, for this specific gimbal, I'm gonna remove one of them. There we go. So we're only going to have one counterweight in one side over here. It could be one or the other. And the way you put this, it has a really cool grip over here. You just pretty much rest it at the very edge of the gimbal. And we're gonna pretty much fish the Velcro strap. This Moment counterweight, I believe, is about 30 bucks. And honestly, at the beginning, I was like, oh, $30 for a counterweight, Jesus. But then when I started using it, I was like, yeah, the engineering and just the ease of use, it just simply attaches in there with very minimalistic, universally. It blends because it's black. It's really cool. It looks nice. Anyways, I like it a lot. But now you notice that everything is swaying to the opposite side. So our job right now is to rebalance. I'm gonna pretty much bring in this arm as much as possible. Now you can see, okay, here we're getting a little bit more stabilization, not too much, not too little. Boom! Look at that, James, right? So now, if I were to test this out, you can actually see, oh, the gimbal's not even on. Gimbal's not even on, and we're already fully balanced. Stability, crispiness, smoothness, right? Moment lens, anamorphic lens. Let me tilt this a little bit for you so you can see. Woo, woo, it's like frozen. Look at that, amazing. So guys, this is definitely one of my go-to setups right here whenever I'm using my iPhone with the Moment lens or the Sandmarc lenses. I typically use the Moment, regardless of the lens, I typically use the Moment counterweight. Definitely a must. If you are interested in picking one up, whether you buy it from Amazon or their website, go ahead and check them out because it's definitely one of those tools. I think I have links in my bio as well for it. But in reality, guys, this is like so clutch. I'm so happy. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a link around here. This is the link. This is my affiliate link, by the way. So anytime you shop from any affiliation that I have, any links that I provide, the channel gets a little kickback. This is how we pretty much pay for the internet and make sure we get the domains and everything ready to go. So if you end up picking up any gear or anything like that, or if you feel like saving some bucks, feel free to send me a DM because I might actually have codes that these companies send me whenever they send me lenses, things like that for testing. Like Sandmarc, they send me a 10% coupon. Techni Sports send me a 10% coupon for me to share. So if at any time you feel like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna buy stuff for Prime, not for Prime Day, but I'm thinking of buying stuff like that for the holidays or things like that, definitely let me know because I might have something to help you out. Anyhow, so just to recap real quick, we stabilized and we balanced DJI Osmo Mobile. Went too far. We stabilized also Moza Mini-S and Moza Mini-MI with the Moment counterweight. I was loading there for a moment. I'm going to do one more. We're going to do the DJI Osmo Mobile, and then we're going to do a free-for-all session. We're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Any Q&A, any questions, any other gimbals that you want me to test, we're going to go ahead and do that as well. We don't have any time restrictions, so we can stay as long as we need to, answer as many questions as we need to. And once again, Miss Pokey, welcome to the Ninja Walkers Club. That is the name of our membership subscription service here at EMT Films. If you feel like supporting the channel, exclusive emojis like you can see there on the stream with Miss Pokey using the little gimbal badges and using the smileys and animojis that I created. Feel free to join. We're also going to be doing behind the scenes whenever I'm creating a video and I'm in the field filming. I'm going to be posting findings sporadically just for members. So hopefully that could add some extra value to anybody that has already gotten value of the channel. So let's take a look and see what we got over here. Catching up, I have Saeed. What other accessories do you use for your gimbals? So I use the Moment lenses and I use the Sandmarc lenses. Sandmarc right now being my favorite lenses because Sandmarc has the thinnest case. So it helps me with the balancing at this point. But Moment just announced a brand new case that is also very, very thin. So I'm very excited to play with that. I've also been using the Rode Video Mic Miel, depending on the type of vlog that I'm doing. If I'm filming with the Smove Flex by itself, just a tripod, and put in a little microphone, a little cat in there as well. I've been using that. And of course the lav microphone. I'm currently filming and recording with the Deity V.Lav microphone, and it's plugged in straight into the phone. So this audio, even if I were to walk a little bit further back, you can probably still hear me crispity crisp. And it's because I'm using a lavalier microphone and the wire's really long actually. Here's a little extra excess of the wire. So you can see I'm still very far away from the camera, but there's a lot of give, so I could go even further if I wanted to. Fish it through your shirt, get the situation going. Beard covers it, so we keep the illusion of immersion. So yeah, those are the additional accessories that I've been using with my gimbals as well. And I'm thinking of using Sandmarc ND filters and polarizer lenses too. So Luan Fraga says, for using here, not YouTube for... let me know, Luan Fraga, what do you mean? If you're using for vlogs, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think the Moza Mini-MI might be the best solution because it allows you to switch back and forth. So just to answer your questions real quick, my favorite gimbal for vlogging right now, it's probably gonna be the Moza Mini-MI and the Smove. Moza Mini-MI, because if you triple click at the bottom of the wheel over here, the gimbal rotates 180, so I could film myself and be part of the whole situation and then be like, oh, look what's in front of me. Double click and it does those awesome 180 rotations. So once again, this gimbal has triple click at the bottom of the wheel and it 180s, so you can use the rear camera if you want to use the best camera on you. Triple click, or in this case, double click to return home. Wow. So that's one of my favorite ones. On top of that, wireless charging in the base. So it keeps my phone fully charged if you have a wireless charging capable phone. Another one that I've been rocking a lot, and honestly, for practicality's sake, is going to be the Smove Mobile. And once again, on Moza's and Smove, I am currently sponsored by them. I do a playlist, I do a vlog for Smove, and I do some sponsored content for Moza, and they have hired me in the past. So take this with a grain of salt, but honestly, this is my go-to in terms of like practicality, because I just simply plug in my phone, similar fashion. This one also has a declicked grip, so you can rotate from landscape to portrait on the fly, kinda. But one of the reasons why I've been rocking this one, balancing it out real quick, there we go, look at that, we're getting some pretty good balance there, is that whenever you turn it on, this gimbal fully extends. So it gives you a little bit better distance from the camera, and kind of selfie stick-like. Whenever you're vlogging, this allows you to capture more in the frame and be like, hey, what's up everybody, look at that, look at that. Get more people in the frame without having to use any lenses or things like that. So I really enjoy while I'm on the fly. I was actually using this at VidCon. I was using it pretty much at every convention, and it was kind of cool to be able to, whoa, and kind of like showcase everything that was happening. It was giving you a sense of immersion. And also I really like this feature. If you hold the trigger in the back and press the mode button, it rotates automatically to portrait mode. So you can film like that. And I'm actually uploading to the Smove YouTube channel a vlog from VidCon in the coming days. Hopefully it'll be done today and tomorrow. But it's a tutorial how to capture portrait panoramic photography with this position right here. And it's really cool because all you really need to do is just literally use the the joystick just to simply rotate. You don't have to worry too much about, moving around with the phone and shaking with your hand. But yeah, this is one of my go-tos for vlogging. And then of course the Moza Mini-MI, because it has that full 360 and wireless charging. So hopefully that answers your question. Luan Fraga, I think so. Let's see what we got. Michael says, greeting. Luan Fraga says, you're good. Good to have found you. Hey, thank you. I'm glad I found you. Thank you for coming to the stream all the way from Brazil, man. Thank you. Greetings from Mexico. Michael, welcome to the stream. Bienvenido. R26 says, hi, welcome. Welcome to the stream. I'm actually looking that way because I have the chat on my left side, so just don't get weirded out by that. Weights and lenses. That setup is a Terminator gimbal. You're right, Miguel. Honestly, and the reason why I like to use some of those accessories is because they expand the capabilities. Like, for example, if you were to use, any other apps like Filmic Pro and things like that, it's just an additional level of customization that you can have, anamorphic lenses and things like that. It just gives you way more precision, so you can get the professional looking shots you want. Having said that, guys, all this, I feel that this is an incremental journey that never ends. I feel that just with your hands is a starting point. A lot of people, and I hear a lot of people all the time, hey, oh, I have to get this in order to be able to make that. Oh, I have to do this in order to be able to. No, start creating today. I challenge you. You don't have a gimbal? No problem. Join the Ninja Walkers Club. What I mean by that is just literally implement ninja walking first and see how far you can take your filmmaking with just your phone. Then, when the dust starts settling, then you get yourself a gimbal. Black Friday's coming up. If you need a cheap or affordable solution in this case, hit me up on Instagram or send me a DM. Hey, MT, do you have any coupons? Do you have any codes or something that can help me get my first gimbal and hit the ground running? Absolutely, and slowly start building and adding more value to the equation, but never feel limited to creating just because you don't have a gimbal or a lens. There was a moment in time, honestly guys, my very first gimbal that I bought with my own money was the first DJI Osmo Mobile, because it was $350, I think it was at the beginning. How crazy is that? The first DJI Osmo Mobile was about $300, and it was actually the most affordable version because the DJI Osmo was like over 600 at that point. So I bought that with my own money and I slowly started filming. I was like, wait a minute, this is so cool. And I was fueling my passion and I slowly started building on top. Oh, a new DJI Osmo came out. Oh, and then the Smooth Q came out. Oh, and then this one came out. And slowly but surely you'll grow, evolve, and hopefully if content creation is something that you want to do, you'll have the tools and you'll be able to share your knowledge, because ultimately, guys, knowledge is power and knowledge should be free. We should be able to share it. If you feel like supporting it, absolutely, but knowledge shouldn't be held hostage. So that's what we're doing here. If you have any best practices of your own, things that you have found, please, 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 I implore you, share it with the community. That way we can continue to create, grow together. We got real estate agents, we got moms, we got dads, we got actual filmmakers, we have entrepreneurs and people that are just trying to get by and create content for their businesses or their passion. Maybe you're just going to Florida for a vacation with your family. You want to make sure you capture the best video that you can capture for you to have that memory, right? If I could go back in time and film everything with the knowledge that I have now, oh my God, so many amazing memories that I feel could have been, man, if I knew this by then, right? So don't limit yourself. Start capturing today, start creating today, because, you know, memories, man. It's amazing. All right, Saeed says, what's your daily driver cell phone and your favorite cell phone used for gimbals? Daily driver's iPhone XS Max. iPhones are still king of the hill for video. Just video in general on iOS is just butter, man. It doesn't matter if you have an iPhone 7 Plus, 8 Plus, 10S, 10R, just iPhone. That camera and the software, it's just fantastic. And when you layer Filmic Pro on top of that, whew, you're gonna have yourself a weapon of filmmaking that it's just gonna take you really, really far, really, really deep. The second one I feel is gonna be the, loading for a second, the Samsung Galaxy S10 is the closest one for video. For photo, whew, for photo, my favorite camera is gonna be the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3a. Those cameras are just ridiculous. If I could merge that camera with the iPhone's video capability, that'd be ridiculous. Michael says, asks, how not to lose the balance of the Osmo when it's be it recorded in a car in motion on the road. Ooh, Michael, this is going to be really, really challenging, because when you're filming on a moving vehicle using your Osmo or things like that, you're going to have a lot of wind. So you just got to make sure you're inside the car, you know, and you're not taking it out, because when you move it out, just the phone it's just going to clash with the wind and you're going to start getting a lot of shake. For things like that, I highly encourage you to check out the DJI Osmo Action, because you can pretty much slap it in the car and it gives you really good stabilization if you're trying to get shots from outside the window and things like that. And that way the wind's not gonna get you all crazy. But ooh, it's a tough one. It's definitely a tough one. If you're going slow, you're definitely gonna be able to get some really good bounce over there, but you just gotta make sure you bounce it first, get it all crispy and stable before you hit the road. You know, and just hold your breath, man, because once again, that wind, if you're going fast, it's just gonna get everything moving real quick. So, Brian from Florida asked, if you had the opportunity to build a dream gimbal, what option would you want it to have? And Brian from Florida, that is one of my goals in life. Just like any pro skateboarder has its own deck, just like any basketball player has their shoe and jersey, my goal in life is to have my own custom gimbal. I don't know, it sounds weird. It's kind of nerdy, but I don't know. I kind of want to do that. Anyways, the gimbal that I would make, honestly, it would be not too different from the Mini-Me, because I really love the 300 grams. I'm gonna go a little bit further. If Moza or any manufacturer, any company that makes gimbals wants to collab and make a custom gimbal, I'm down. I am down to provide that feedback and I'm down to create those specs, but I would do at least 300 to 400 grams of payload capacity. There's one that's 800, but I think that's a little too much. If we can keep it around 500, that'll be ideal. Anywhere in between 400 to 500 grams of payload capacity. That's gonna be a must. It has to have wireless charging because that is clutch. It has to have 1/4-inch screws for mounts. I'm gonna be honest with you, I would add a cold shoe at the top for a microphone right there, sitting on top, very pretty. And then I'm gonna be honest with you, depending on the phone, the thing with audio is that just the pass through is gonna be very, very challenging because some phones use USB-C, some phones use Lightning. But I would figure out a mechanism for you to be able to plug in the phone if wireless charging is not an option, so you can get audio through the microphone directly. But honestly, that's just asking too much, and most times when you're filming, you're recording audio separate, so that's kind of like a secondary. It has to have 100% 360-degree unrestricted panning because, guys, it's 2019. We want to get those crispy time lapses. We want to get that motion time lapse. There's really no reason for you to restrict the movement of that gimbal, especially if you're trying to vlog. That's why I really love the triple click and then the 180 spin, and that's something that not all the gimbals can do. And you can film yourself, be in the good camera, double click, go back, so that's clutch. And then honestly, that extension capability, or at least potential, will also be one of those things that I would love to have. So it will be kind of like a blend of the Smove mobile and a blend of the Moza Mini-S, kind of like combined. But that will be a professional-esque, prosumer-esque leaning type of gimbal because at the end of the day, practicality is king, right? And if you want to be, of course, part of the Ninja Walkers Club, you got to be a practical ninja. And some of us don't have time to carry all these things. So that's why it's really good to have options. So I would say probably a hybrid blender between the Moza Mini-MI and the Smove. Both of them are fantastic gimbals. So yeah, that will be kind of like some of my ideal features within the gimbal. Let's see, Brian, hopefully that answered your question. Overall, you never know if you don't try. Absolutely. I made a video with the Osmo a few months ago, and it was the first one I did. Ooh, I'll check it out after the stream. I'm honestly going to go into your channel and check it out. Michael says, check it. Ooh, cool. Michael sent me his Instagram. Michael, can I show your Instagram? Can I show your Instagram so people can also check it out? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up for yes. Give me a thumbs out for no. Hey, this is Rich from northeast of England. Keep up the great content. Thank you so much for coming all the way back from England, man. That's awesome. I'm just gonna go ahead and show it, Michael. I hope you're not. I hope you that you know that doesn't kind of like sit on the negative side with you. But I'm showing. I'm definitely gonna check it out. So yeah, guys, we've been streaming for about an hour. Just to give you a long recap, real quick. We're going to go ahead and recap what we did at the beginning of the stream. We talked about balancing the DJI Osmo Mobile. We talked about balancing the Moza Mini-MI. And we talked about balancing a little bit, shortly but briefly, the Moza Mini-S. Now we're going to go back to the DJI Osmo Mobile, and I'm going to show you how to use moment lenses and the moment counterweight on the Osmo, because this one's a little different. And if you have any other suggestions, now is the time to start dropping them. Also, if you guys feel like sharing your Instagram in the comments, go ahead and drop it. That way we can continue to share each other's work. That's the whole idea. We want to make sure we collaborate and, you know, critique ourselves in a positive manner. You know, hey, what do you think about this video? What do you think about that video? So if anybody wants to share their Instagram accounts or their posts and things like that, just go ahead and drop them there. If not, once the video is fully done, leave a comment with it. Just, you know, let's keep it PG as well and and positive, because there's a lot of weird stuff happening in the world, and you know, we just want to make sure we keep everything open for everyone today here. Anyhow, so I'm switching over to the DJI Osmo Mobile here, just to give you that additional tip and information. And there's a dog barking. Hopefully, if you can hear that, I apologize. We're gonna move soon, hopefully. But we're gonna go ahead and try also, once again, the Pixel 3a with the Moment case because it adds a little bit extra bulk. But once again, it will work with pretty much any gimbal that you start to leverage, that you can attach any lenses or any big phones. So on the DJI Osmo Mobile 2, the reason why I like using the Moment counterweight as well is because, once again, we go all the way back, we balance things out with this gimbal, but the moment, the moment I attach the Moment lens, you'll notice how things are gonna start swaying to the left side, my left, your right. And there it is, that's the sway. So now, by leveraging the counterweight, which I left attached to the gimbal by mistake. By the way, it's super easy to remove when you're using the Moza Mini-S or any other gimbal. You just pop it right out. It's universal, fits great. Putting this guy back on the shelf here real quick. There we go. And once again, if you're using a smaller gimbal and a lighter phone, if you're using an 8, a 7 pixel, things like that, you might only need one counterweight. One of them is 30 grams. If you use two, you're gonna have both 30 and 30. That's gonna be 60 grams. So I've been only using one whenever I'm using these phones. We're gonna give ourselves a little bit of a gap there. That way, whenever we're going from the ground up, doing some crane shots, we're not hitting the base there in the motor. And what I'm gonna do now, similar situation, I'm just simply gonna rest the gimbal right there, kind of like if it was hanging from that ledge right there. I'm gonna fish the little arm, and we're gonna go ahead and put the little ribbon there and attach it. And you wanna make sure this part over here is tight. Like the commish says, any gamers out there that watch the channel up, down, down, keep it tight. But over here, you're gonna be able to, once again, unscrew the situation back here, the little arm. And our goal here is to achieve that balance once again. And we're slowly adjusting, surely. And boom. Right, so in this case, the phone can balance relatively well without the counterweight. But if you were using a heavier phone or a heavier lens, this is definitely what you want to make sure you achieve, right? That horizontal balance. Usually you want the phone to be here, but since we don't want to clash with the bottom, it's natural that the phone's gonna stay there. Now, if I do a good job in aligning it here, ha, ha, oh, geez, look at that. And the gimbal's off, guys. This is off. The gimbal's 100% turned off. If I turn on the gimbal, look at that. Butter. And that will allow you to film using heavy payloads like lenses, big cases, or even microphones attached in reverse position with the DJI Osmo Mobile. Ooh, perfect. Now, since some of you have been popping in and out throughout the past hour or so, I want to make sure I'm answering any questions, any thoughts, any concerns. If anybody wants to share their Instagram handles in the comment section, drop them right there without the @ That way it doesn't filter it. But drop them there, just put IG and then your name. That way if anybody wants to collab, anybody wants to meet up and, you know, check out everybody's filmmaking, that's all point, building community, getting to get information from other smartphone filmmakers and hopefully Ninja Walker members, Ninja Walker Club's members. If you didn't know, we opened our subscriptions for the first time ever today, literally right now. We got one member, the commissioner of the Ninja Walkers Club, Miss Pokey, my wife. She went ahead and joined. I didn't tell her to do it, but she did it, so thank you for joining. But as different perks that you'll get, look at different perks, you're gonna get the gimbal badge, right? Different levels, different membership durations will give you different badges identifying you as a member of the Ninja Walker Club, because we're all Ninja Walkers at the end of the day when we're filmmaking and trying to keep everything steady. But you also get a cycle of different emojis, like me kicking in the air, in different phases. Can you drop the faces? Can you drop the faces, Miss Pokey? That would be awesome. And of course, this will also give you behind the scenes photos and engagement through the community tab on my YouTube channel. Whether you're on mobile or desktop, you'll be able to see kind of like behind the scenes exclusive posts of what I'm filming as I'm filming it. So I'll post a clip, I'll post a photo here and there saying, hey, I found out this. So you'll definitely get a lot more information there prior to the video coming out. So it's kind of like a little early access type of situation. But just to catch up real quick with some of the comments here. Dallin Page says, coming in late here, so sorry if this has already been covered, but we're gonna buy those counterweights. Boom! Counterweights, sorry for that loud clap. Counterweights can be purchased right there. I just dropped a link in the comments. And I also, let me see if I can get you an Amazon link, because there's Prime Day right now. There's 7 hours and 3 minutes left. And you might be able to get a deal through the Amazon situation. So I'll go ahead and drop my Amazon shop. It is meant to be an idea list for you to see all the things that I incorporate in my filmmaking. So whether you buy something or not, it really doesn't, mean a whole lot to me, rather than it means the world for me to help you. So use it for information, but if you find it cheaper somewhere else, by all means. Having said that, keep in mind that every time you buy something from my links on Amazon or YouTube or things like that, a portion of that comes to the channel. It helps support the channel, keep this whole situation running and growing. So hopefully we'll continue to make this our full-time gig, which is my goal, my dream for this calendar year 2020. And I'm 100% sure with your support, I'm gonna get there. But no rush. If you have any questions, suggestions, that's where we're here from. Lester, give me 1 second. We got over here, Mac. Gas Monkey, what? I'm not 100% sure of that. MC. I don't know what you mean by that. Gas Monkey Garage. I don't understand. Anyways. Lester, Ninja Walker Club. Lester, I just want to give you the heads up that today, for the very first time, we enabled subscriptions on our YouTube channel. As you notice, Miss Pokey, if you kind of like scroll through the comments, has a green name with a green badge in the form of a gimbal right next to her. That is how she's identifier as a member of the Ninja Walkers Club. And the Ninja Walkers Club is pretty much just the supporters, the people that appreciate and the people that want to support me and this community and share more information with a select few. This is not me locking things in a paywall. The perks that you get by being in the Ninja Walkers Club is badges, right? You're gonna get an emoji and a custom badge that will identify you amongst the community as a member of the Ninja Walkers Club. Plus, it sounds pretty awesome, right? We're gonna make this whole situation happening eventually, where we're gonna be able to do meetups, where we're gonna be able to do, additional content and stuff like that. But never I am locking content on a paid tier. Every video, every piece of information that I'm sharing is gonna be 100% free. The additional thing that you're going to get by joining the Ninja Warriors Club is going to be the ability to see a community tab that's exclusive for community members that will give you access to behind the scenes photos and small clips of me filming some of the videos. So let's say, for example, I'm filming a video which is happening soon. I have it on the board. It's going to be an Osmo Action stabilization test. We actually put the Osmo Action on the DJI Osmo Mobile. So in those type of situations, as I'm filming it, I'm going to brief you in on photos, behind the scenes, and things like that. That way you can get more information faster. Having said that, that same information will be available on the full video, but I'm definitely going to give you a little bit of a peek behind the curtain as things are happening. So that's the Ninja Walkers Club. We just have the 1 tier, standard tier starting point right now. So if you feel like supporting the channel, by all means, it's much appreciated. If you don't, just by you being here, it means a lot to me because I get to do what I love. So it's an additional thing for those who feel like supporting the channel as well for that. So Ninja Walkers Club, and we're making it a thing, man. We're making it big. We're making it, you know, over the top. We're making it over the top. You're going to see we're going to drop emojis periodically. We're going to have seasonal emojis. Summertime's coming, right? We're summertime's here. We got the fall. We got the winter. We're going to get creative with all that stuff. So let's see. What else do we got over here? Lester, you do get a deal on the counterweights. Got them last night. Yeah, that's awesome. Congrats on the counterweights. I'm glad you do. Prime Day is happening right now, so if you feel like picking anything up from my shop, that's the best time because you're definitely going to get a really good deal. Boom, just put that over there as well. West Coast 2K8 OP7. I purchased Sandmarc Lenses through your link. Hey, thank you so much. West Coast, I'm glad you did. Anytime you shop and you get, you know, a deal through the link, I get a little kickback, so I appreciate you supporting the channel. But most importantly, you're gonna have a blast because Moment lenses, in this case, the Sandmarc lenses are my favorite ones because the case is thinner. And when you're using it with gimbals or things like that, you could fit it perfectly in the cradle rather than having kind of like that thing. So Sandmarc lenses are actually right now one of my favorite ones because I don't know, they just resonated with me. I like Moment lenses, but Sandmarc, man, I don't know, I just love them. So if anybody's willing to save, hit me up. I have a discount code for them, 10% I believe it is. It's in the comments, in the link down below. But West Coast, I hope you enjoy those lenses. They're fantastic. They're from San Diego and I love them. I love them. I am not Aaron. I probably look like him. Nice to meet you, Mac Jabinaglu. I'm so sorry, man. But thank you. I'm going to call you MC. Thank you for stepping by. Overlord, the emojis are too good, man. You got to join. You got to join the Ninja Walkers Club, man. You got to do it. You got to do it soon. MC asks, do you make all your videos naked from what? The ways I hear it helps people not to be camera shy. I do not. I wear pants, and that's a thing my wife actually has a thing about. Like, she asked me, hey, why are you wearing like jeans at home? Why don't you get comfortable and put some shorts and things like that? I was like, I don't know. I just got to dress the part. I got to put my OG Bullet Club shirt for those wrestling fans out there, and got to wear the jeans because you don't know. We're in Southern California. If something happens and we got to hit the ground running because of an emergency, I don't want to be in shorts. I don't want to be in my underwear. So yeah. That's why I dress every single time. Dallin Page says, have you done any videos on using ND filters or polarizing filters with smartphones on top of Moment lenses? I have not, but I have used the, I'm loading here real quick, I apologize guys. I'm using, I did a video using the Polar Pro ND and polarizer filters for the Osmo Action. Those are fantastic. I do have a video on that, and I'm looking to make a video also with the Sandmarc ones, but I need to catch up. I have a lot of content that's been filmed already. I just need to, you know, edit it, package it, upload it, and get it all ready to go for you guys to, you know, hopefully explore and experiment with that. But I have used them with the Pocket, and they're fantastic. I love it. Lester says, I have the Anamorphic and just got the filters. Love the Anamorphic lens. The Anamorphic is amazing. Yeah, you got the Sandmarc or you got the Moment? Miguel says, I already checked your video. Michelle, Okay, thank you for checking out the video. Perfect. Said says, off topic, do you experience any earthquake recently? Yes, actually, not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, I think it was last week or something like that, there was a magnitude 7 point something earthquake, man. The whole thing, the whole apartment was like dancing left and right. It felt like a boat. It was weird. All the gimbals were shaking, all the walls were shaking. It was crazy. And I'm not gonna lie, it was really scary because I've never felt anything like that in my life other than being on a boat, but you're ready in a boat, you're mentally ready. So we were watching, I believe we were watching Stranger Things. It was on the week that the season 3 released, and I was watching it there with my wife. And then we were at a scene where one of the you know, the big monster came out, and then suddenly the building started shaking, the whole situation. I was like freaking out. So, you know, since then, Laura and I have been, you know, thinking of building a kind of like an emergency backpack just with stuff. And of course, a gimbal is going to be in there because, you know, we got to film it. But yeah, I have been in the earthquake and it was crazy. Lesser Sandmarc, love the liquid turn. Not the key moment. Yeah, and honestly, that's one of the reasons why I like Lesser, the moment anamorphic lens, is because the Sandmarc anamorphic lens, because right now, for example, the moment anamorphic lens is set for my iPhone, but if I feel like using it with the Pixel 3, it's not properly aligned. See how the line is, it should be that way. It should be in this position. So that would mean that I would need to unscrew that little screw there and rotate the situation. And guess what? I lost that key. That key that came attached to the lens itself, it not, you know, it's not happening because I lost the little key. So I've been using a screw driver to get that going. And, you know, Sandmarc has that awesome, let me actually show it to you guys. Since you're all here, Sandmarc has that amazing liquid, how do you call it? The liquid turn. That's awesome. That sounds so cool with some synth in the background. Let me go ahead and get it open here. So I don't know if anybody has seen the Sandmarc lens situation. Let me see if this is the one. Yeah, this is the one. So you see this one in the back over here, you can actually turn that without a key. And it just looks pretty. It just looks so good. So Sandmarc anamorphic lens, if you haven't seen my Sandmarc video, once we're done with the stream, go ahead and check it out on the YouTube channel. It's one of the latest uploads, so you could totally check that out. All right, let's see, we got some other questions over here. Site says, nice video. I got to go. Good evening from me to you. Good morning from me from Malaysia. Ooh, good morning. Thank you for coming all the way from Malaysia. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. I'm going to give you a couple of extra tips as we are starting to wrap up the session today. Hopefully, some of these balancing tips with gimbals have been useful for some of you. If you enjoyed the video so far and you found useful some of the tips about balancing your smartphone, your gimbal, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up and leave me an emoji. And if you feel like, hey, you know, EMT's been dropping some value over here, let me go ahead and support him by joining the Ninja Walker Club. You're more than welcome to join. You'll get your emojis, you'll get your badges, bragging rights amongst the community, and of course that sneak peek behind the scene content as we're filming.